Hey guys, I know it seems like I am putting hundreds and hundreds of videos out over the last couple of weeks. Yeah, I have been pretty active. I've been busy. I know I'm putting lots of content on and people are trying to catch up. But on the other hand, I have had quite a lot. Sorry, I'm watching the dogs in the garden here as well. On the other hand, I have been asked quite a lot in regards to boar sighting, in regards to, well, there's one thing. 2 6. Sorry about that. One of the dogs disappeared down by my chiller, and that's a way they can get out of the garden. I don't want them running away, and they don't tend to run away. Anyway, as I was saying, a couple of folk were asking me about boar sighting. Quite a lot of people have been asking me about things like this, and now this is a laser bore sighter. What you tend to do is you pick the attachment. You don't break it. I don't use these anyway. You pick the attachment. It's a wee laser. You stick it down the barrel, which is fine for an air rifle or something like that. And you aim at your target at 100 yards and you match your scope reticle up with the laser on the end. Now, for centre fire, I have never been able to get these to work properly. The closest I've probably got is probably about 1.5 feet away from a target at 100 metres. They're not great. They move about, even if you've got the right inserts, they move about, and if you use a moderator, that's going to change shift and everything as well. So it doesn't sit in the moderator quite right. They're fiddly, they're difficult. But for an air rifle, AR platform maybe, these are actually quite okay. But it'll get you on paper at 25 yards and you can work your stuff up there. So for centre fire bolt guns with moderators, I don't really recommend using these. The best way is an old-fashioned method, and I'll run through my process. Now, I tend to pick a spot that's about 26 yards. I use a tripod in the garden. Now, you could do this lying down. Now, see this? That black light there that is on the side of the, well, there's a wasp trap hanging from it. That is what I tend to use is my bore sight. Now, bore sighting, the way I do it, or bore sighting in general, is really safe. You know, you can do it, and I don't suggest it because you don't want to be bloody seen in a window aiming a rifle, even out if the window's closed or whatever. But you can do it indoors, and you can pick a signpost or something that if you feel it's safe and you don't think you're going to get into trouble for it, or get some questionable people wondering if you've got why you're shooting out a window. Your rifle is completely safe the whole time because you've got no magazine, because you can't bore sight with a magazine in it. You've got no bolt in it because you cannot bore sight it with the bolt in it. So I'll show you the process. It's very, very simple. Well, basically I've got two rifles, as you know, that I sorted out yesterday. I've got one with a digital scope, one with a standard day scope. The only problem is with the standard day scope is I have to release the turret to do that. I'll do the digital scope first, just for the purposes of this video, and then I'll get round to doing my day scope. But it is genuinely very simple. So here we have the 223. What I'm going to do is I'm going to clamp it to the tripod. Just clamp it to the tripod. The bolt is already moved out of it. I've set the tripod up on an area where nobody can see. I'm in the garden. It's 26 yards to that trailer and the light, and we'll use that focus point. Now I look through the barrel and align the barrel up at that spot. Could be a bit fiddly, but take your time in doing it. Caught the silly me, caught the sling as I was pulling my hand away. Now you clamp it there, so it's clamped. I'll see if we can have a look through the barrel. It might not work with a phone. We'll see if we can look through the barrel. So, I basically look through the barrel. Not going to happen. And I line it up with that light there. Just a black light there. And then after that, it is a case of turning the scope on, not touching the rifle. Making sure the cap's off the scope, yep. And believe it or not, by the looks of things, it isn't that far off. Just double check, I'm a little bit to the left, so. Yep, it's going a little bit to the left. So on these digital scopes you've got the menus. Bring it down. Now the good thing about these digital scopes is I can now freeze frame. So I'm going to freeze frame. And I'm going to move that into position, just making sure I'm still relatively in the centre. Right, just take it back a little bit. And then all I need to do is click save. I can actually zero the thermal as well while I'm at it because there's a bit of a heat difference here, but so I'll do that as well. But I would rather just do that at I'd rather just do that anyway at the when I zero at 100. So I'm only really zeroing the digital reticle on this, and that is basically how the simplest way to bore sight. Now you can do that with day scope. If you don't have a tripod, set it up in the bonnet of the car, set it up in the field use a couple of bags, as long as you've got a stable position. Bore sighting is so easy, and it will get you on paper. It's not going to get you on a 2-inch target at 100 meters, but it'll get you within 4 inches, and that'll give you a reference point. Instead of just blind firing a heap of rounds down and hoping for the best, you are basically limiting the amount of ammunition that you're going to be using. So that's this one done. I'm going to go out and do the day scope now on the 243, but again with the digital it's a little bit easier because you've got the choice of freeze framing and stuff like that. With the digital it is a lot easier. But with the day scope, I have to take the turret off and all that. I'm not going to bother wasting an hour, 10 minutes showing you how to do that. But that's it. It's very, very simple. Find a point 25 yards away, set up your rifle, get it in a static position, clamp down or something like that. Have a look through the barrel, line up the barrel to your point at 25, 26 yards away, and then basically match your scope up to that point, and then take it out to 100 meters and take a shot. I do have some footage where I got a cold bore shot straight after boresighting with the 6.5 Creedmoor, and I'll add that to this video. Thank you again. As I said, you don't need to spend a fortune on boresighting equipment. A lot of that stuff is absolutely useless. You see guys in the shops and all that with £300-400 Leopold scope setters and things like that. They don't work. Just with, if you've got a moderated rifle, standard rifle, the cheapest way, the easiest way, and the most effective way is to boresight. So, catch you again.